Welcome to the third annual Parsons College Wall of Honor dedication. My name is Dave Neff, class of 1969, and what you've been listening to is an original vinyl record that we've transferred to DVD for the Parsons College Chorale and the fight song. And later on, we're going to ask you to stand and rise toward the end of the ceremony, because you'll all remember on the back are the words to the alma mater. We have a young man in the audience today that I'd like to give recognition to in his class, because we were able, at the time, Barhide Chapel and Parsons Hall were being raised to keep this piece. Rich Talon, class of 1966, is that correct? Rich, if I can stand for a moment. These are pieces that we've resurrected, and as you see in the Alumni Hall, as well as what you'll see this afternoon at the Carnegie Museum on the third floor of the Carnegie Library, these are pieces of memorabilia. Each year, people come through and they say, "Can I give you something else? My husband, my wife is gone, the kids don't want it, what can I do?" And so we receive these and keep these pieces for memory. Today, we are honored to have such a great turnout for the event and to recognize members of the student body who have gone on in their chosen fields and profession and have made a mark not only on Fairfield, but the state of Iowa, our country, and also on the world. 2 years ago, on this weekend, we inducted the inaugural class and honored the following individuals: Wes Bartlett, class of 38, Kiwanis International President; Lee Gobble, class of 37, Haberdasher Emeritus. Lee is still with us. He's 96 years old, was invited, and hopefully he will join us at some point today. Ryan McClin, class of 69, Senator, Mayor of Dayton, Ohio. Obie Nelson, class of 46, legendary coach. Alan Paul, class of 67, State Senator. Ed Rogowski, class of 65, President of St. Ambrose University. Dr. Robert Scott III, class of 63, Research Physician. Marshall Wallace, class of 64, stage and television star. And Verl Whittington, class of 52, Shell Oil executive. Our second class was inducted just a year ago this weekend. Roger Bachman, 67, Special Forces, U.S. Army. Dean Gabbard, 46, editor, publisher, Fairfield Ledger. Robert Gamreth, who is with us today. Bob, if you'd like to stand, please. He's over in this area. Good to have you with us, General Gamreth. Major General, Army National Guard, Insurance Executive. Dr. William Biff Coomer, class of 68, Professor. General Richard Lawson, 41, 4-star General, U.S. Air Force. Roger Nielsen, 56, educator and coach. Willard Pedrick, 36, Law School Dean. Larry Spencer, 62, Lieutenant Commander, U.S. Navy. Susan Fulton Welty, class of 23, writer, author, professor. Lewis Wilson, class of 64, athlete and youth leader. This year we have our third outstanding class to share with you today. Each year, our spring e-newsletter, we open a nomination period and invite alumni to present names of Parsons students to be considered for the next October Wall of Honor induction ceremony. Our committee consists of Dr. Robert Tree, John Braywood, who is co-chair, John Blackstock, co-chair, and myself. We review and consider these names and come to a final consensus. The nominations are announced in the summer e-newsletter. The vision for this ceremony was shared with us by John Blackstock, class of 64. John is also editor of the Parsons e-News. He announced the idea at the formal dedication of the Alumni Hall in September of 2008. The recommendation to form a Parsons College Foundation was made by John Braidwood, class of 68, at an all-class reunion the summer of 2003. Since the announcement of the foundation, John has worked tirelessly to raise funds to assist in the construction of the building where we are today, the Fairfield Arts and Convention Center. Total dollars raised from alumni, faculty, and staff during this period of time exceeds $200,000 to make this facility possible. You'll find the names of many of the contributors in the brickyard outside the main atrium entrance, and you can find an insert in your bulletin if this is something you'd like to do to continue these ceremonies. Nancy Wortinen brought the recommendation to form the Parsons College Alumni Association to reunion, and there's currently over 2,300 names of alumni in a database. This serves as the heart of the information sharing. Nancy is assisted by Doug Marion, Ken Rice, in managing this information and development of the Parsons College Alumni website. Dr. Robert Tree has provided a sounding board for the evolution of the entire process. We will forever be indebted to these individuals who have given so generously of their time and talent, because without this energy, enthusiasm, and passion, these events, these communication opportunities would not be possible. Please join me as I ask each of these individuals to stand and recognize them with a warm round of applause. We would like to recognize those faculty and staff and trustees who are in attendance at this time. Would you please rise and remain standing and hold your applause until everyone has been recognized. As I mentioned before, Lee Gobble, I did not see him into the building yet, so hopefully he'll make the luncheon. Ray Ham is the assistant women's basketball coach and admission staff. Mr. Ham, myself, I taught physical education. One of our honorees today, Bob Spencer, was the women's basketball head coach. So Bob, if you'd like to stand, please. Dr. Tree, history and dean of the college, and Vera Price Young, physical education. So thank you, faculty, staff, for being here today. Our earliest graduates, in fact, she was just here up a minute ago, was Vera Price Young, class of 46. Lee Gobble, class of 37, and we have two most recent graduates, the last graduating class, 1973. Pat Arnspeck and Ray Ham are with us today, so we have a full spectrum in front of you. We'd also like to recognize the staff and administration of the Fairfield Arts and Convention Center for their assistance in preparation for this event. It would not be an official activity in our community if we didn't invite our Mayor, Ed Malloy, and we've asked him to share a few moments with you at this time. Ed Malloy, our Mayor.
Good morning, everyone. Dave, thank you for the opportunity to come and welcome you all back to Fairfield, our home and a home that you shared, and we all understand the importance of the time that you spent here and how much of an important part of your life it was, where your education was completed, where strong relationships were forged that continue to this day. And it is really a great, distinct honor to have your honorees with us today, for this facility to be the home of the Wall of Honor for Parsons graduates, ensuring that the legacy and the memory and the history and the importance of what Parsons meant to our community's history is preserved forever. I'd like to just say thanks for coming to a typical October weekend in Fairfield where the temperature is in the mid-80s, mid-60s at night with some balmy breezes. Last night, if you were fortunate enough to be here, you experienced one of our monthly art festivals, for the First Fridays Art Walk with an Oktoberfest theme. It was a wonderful night out there. In this facility today, we have the annual quilting fair, which is, I'm sure you will get a chance to walk through there. Incredible work by our local quilters. This evening on this stage, I believe it's the 3rd annual Superstar competition. This is our own version of America's Got Talent or American Idol, where singers and performers regionally compete up to this point, and they will give their final performances tonight for a $1,000 prize. This afternoon at 1:30, we are going to be